Today marks 1570th day of daily lessons, daily reflections. Today let's speak out one statement, beautiful statement. You are not meant to be understood by everyone. And I think that this is extremely important statement because sometimes we want to be understood by everyone, but it's impossible. And today let's share seven truths that are important to understand that about this statement. So the first one, most people don't listen to understand. They listen to protect their identity. So when you have discussion, an argument, conflict, disagreement, and you have a conversation where you really explain yourself and over explain yourself and you really share things that you really want other person to understand you, because if they will understand you, they will understand your point of view, they will make sure that they follow it through on the things that they maybe even said they will do, or maybe will not blame you or not complain. But sometimes when you explain other other information, or the things that other people did to you, they will not agree on that, because if they agree on what you are saying, that means that they will need to take accountability for their action. But if they really say that, oh, I'm done and not understand you, that means that they're not able to really take accountability because they don't understand. And now potentially they could really blame you that you don't explain well, even though that they don't want to understand you. Because if they don't understand you, that means they don't need to take out accountability. So identity says no. Their self-defense is not allowing you to understand you. Sometimes even they understand you, but they just don't want to accept the truth that they hurt you. And I think that this again, first thing is you need to understand that when you explain things, it might be that they are not understanding you because they're just protecting themselves. And knowing that is a massive truth. Number two is being misunderstood is a tax you pay for depth, for depth, for when you go deeper and deeper and deeper, the deeper you go, probably will be less people who are able to understand you. It's easy to stay in surface, and that's why we have a tendency to really stay in surface. You need to really be intentional about going deep, about going deep. So everyone has surface level understanding about themselves, but if you want to understand deep levels of yourself, you need to be intentional, learn about, reflect. So when you really understand more things, when you go deep and you have seen more things and you want to explain those things, most likely other people will not understand what you are saying because they never reach those levels yet. And sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a good thing because people who are surface level will not understand you. So that means if they're not understanding you and they don't want to really be and not willing to really do their work to understand you, it might be that they're not supposed to be in your life. Because again, the first thing is willingness. Are they willing to really try to understand? Because if they just don't understand, they just don't understand and just lift their hands and don't understand, sometimes it's not worth explaining. Number three, some people only understand the versions of you they can control. And this is again very interesting thing, because sometimes when people who use you, they want you predictable, agreeable, useful. But if you really start sharing things that's really brings from power within power, they will not understand it within power, because they don't want to accept that you have power, and because they don't want to accept it, they will not understand it. So I think that it's very, very important to understand is that when the more awareness, the more clarity you have in your mind, in yourself, in your values, in your beliefs, in your aspirations, and you sharing those things with people who are not here to help you achieve those goals, most likely they will understand them. And sometimes you need to ask yourself, like, what will this person will get out of my aspirations? Because maybe if this person is benefiting from my old version of me, that means that when I will share a new version of me, they will not understand new version of me. And they most likely, when you will share your new version of you, will try to hit something. Oh, you're not capable, or is not good timing. So they will find excuses. And because you do not understand. Again, this is again proof that not every single person needs to understand your vision. Number four, clarity doesn't guarantee connection. Clarity doesn't need connection. So, but it means that sometimes when you want to rationalize, logically explain things to other people, but they not able to connect, and we are not able to connect with that logic, with that rationality, because connection requires emotional capacity. And if other person doesn't have empathy and emotional maturity to understand, sometimes we'll not build connection. And of course, will be very surface level because we have surface level understanding. And again, you can explain things, but you will not feel understood because they just do not have emotional capacity to understand you. And that is on them, not on you, because you did your best. Now, of course, it could be something that you need to learn to educate and be great in articulate and expressing yourself well. But there's a lot of times that other person just does not have capacity to do that. Number five, being misunderstood is often a sign you are ahead, not wrong. That's a beautiful thing. That means that when you really look into knowledge, wisdom, sometimes sharing things and people don't understand what you're saying because they're not at that understanding level in this field. Because one thing is that when we develop our understanding in one field, some other people are left behind in this field. And when you really understand so much more, 10 times more than another person, a regular person, and you share things, that means that we need to understand, okay, where the context is, where their content, how much do they know? Because the things that you share might be too overwhelming them. And when you love to really share that knowledge that is potentially very beneficial for you, maybe they just don't have the foundation there to understand it. And when we know that, sometimes it's on us. Sometimes on us understanding that other person is not ready to understand this high level information and being able to dumb it down and really share the lower level information might be useful. And this is in any topic in the world. So when you are an expert in your field, for you potentially everything could be simple. But the person who never did anything in that, it might be even the smallest things might be complicated. Number six, wanting what universal understanding is a hidden form of people pleasing. Again, this is extremely important. Sometimes you want to be liked by everyone, but you'll never be liked by everyone. And the same as sometimes you want to be understood by everyone, but you'll never be understood by everyone. So if we have the need to be understood by everyone or liked by everyone, that means that it's partly is that we want to be accepted, not rejected, and that's a partly of people pleasing. And I think that we need to outgrow that because we need to learn to have that alignment over approval. And it's the interesting thing that I learned as well recently that one of the neuroscientists was saying in his book is that it's very, very easy to say rationally what we're supposed to do. Sometimes it's very, very hard to do emotionally to that. And I found that sometimes we need to really work very hard to really change our default emotions because so many times we know rationally what's right and what's wrong, but that knowing doesn't help. And being able to rewrite slowly those emotions, I think that is a work of art. Number seven, and the last thing that I want to mention, seven truths. So seven is the right people won't need constant explanations. And this is again, I need to learn this and swallow this hard pill that not every single person will understand because they just need constant explanations and they will never be able to understand you. And I think that that's again, a wrong person will always not understand you. Because I think that when you're in a room with people who really connects with you, it seems so smooth. You're able to share even the most complicated things and they still understand you. Sometimes even being in the room and not saying anything, they will understand you. Sometimes not even words, even the eye wrong eye movement will make them understand you. So I think that's I need to learn sooner than later that sometimes the most important part is understanding that if this person requires so much energy to explain myself and over again, maybe they don't deserve that much of my energy because energy is the most important resource. And why allocate so much energy to a person who never understands you, and maybe I could allocate that energy to grow, improve, find people who actually connects with me, and maybe someone that I could really connect with that really elevates my energy. Because if you try to explain a lot of times, that drains your energy. And I think that that is extremely important to understand. And not every single person supposed to understand you, and that's totally fine. Because I think that we have a tendency to want to be understood, because to be understood and to be heard is like feeling loved. But I think that if someone doesn't understand you for wrong reasons, maybe we share those seven truths. If the wrong reasons, sometimes just they might be that they don't deserve to be in your life. And I think sometimes choosing yourself is important. So not every single person is meant to walk with you. This is a message of today's of the sentence that not every single person, you are not meant to be understood by everyone. And this is again, not every single person is supposed to walk with you. And again, this is a great statement, and I think it's very important because was guilty of that I wanted to be understood by everyone, but I don't want that anymore because I was able to slowly, the most important part, slowly outgrow that. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.